Look at any crowd of people today, and you'll notice something interesting. We are all part of the same species. We have the same bones, the same blood, the same brains, and we all come from the same ancient human family. Yet our skin comes in many different shades, from very dark brown to very light pink. For a long time, people tried to explain these differences in the wrong ways. They created stories, groups, and labels. Some even believed skin color meant that humans belonged to completely different kinds of people. But biology tells a very different story. Skin color was never about separating humans. It was simply the result of a challenge that every human body had to solve, a challenge that came from the sun. The surprising truth is that the same sun that helped humans survive could also harm them. Over thousands of generations, our ancestors had to find a balance. Too much sunlight could cause problems. Too little sunlight could cause problems too. So why do humans have different skin colors? The answer begins long before countries, borders, or modern ideas about race existed. It begins in Africa, where our ancestors lived under a powerful sun. Most mammals are protected by fur. Fur acts like a shield. It blocks sunlight before it reaches the skin. But human ancestors gradually lost most of their fur. Scientists still discuss exactly when this happened, but the main reason was heat. Animals covered in thick fur can overheat when moving under the hot sun. Humans developed a different solution. We became excellent sweaters. Sweat cools the body, allowing people to walk, run, and hunt for long periods in hot environments. But there was a cost. Once most of the fur was gone, human skin was directly exposed to sunlight. Near the equator, sunlight contains large amounts of ultraviolet radiation, also called UV light. Too much UV light can damage DNA and harm important parts of the body. One of those important substances is folate, a vitamin that helps build cells, repair DNA, and support healthy pregnancies. If too much UV light destroys folate, it becomes harder to have healthy children. Because of this, early humans needed protection. That protection came from melanin. Melanin is the natural substance that gives skin its color, but it does much more than that. It acts like a shield, helping protect the body from harmful UV rays. People with more melanin have darker skin, which provides stronger protection under intense sunlight. This is why populations whose ancestors lived near the equator for many generations usually have darker skin. Their bodies adapted to environments with strong UV radiation. Dark skin was not about appearance, it was about survival. But then humans began to move. Over many thousands of years, people left Africa and spread across the world. They crossed deserts, traveled along coastlines, moved through forests, and eventually reached colder regions with weaker sunlight. Suddenly, a new problem appeared. The issue was no longer too much sunlight. The issue was not enough sunlight. Human bodies need UVB light from the sun to produce vitamin D. This vitamin is essential for strong bones, healthy growth, and a functioning immune system. Without enough vitamin D, people can develop serious health problems. In places where sunlight was weak for much of the year, dark skin blocked too much of the limited UVB light available. As a result, people with lighter skin had an advantage because their bodies could produce vitamin D more easily. Over many generations, lighter skin became more common in some regions. This is something many people misunderstand. Skin color is not mainly linked to temperature. Cold weather does not make skin lighter. Sunlight does. If you look at a map of skin color around the world, it closely follows levels of UV radiation, not levels of heat. But the story is not always simple. Some groups living in far northern regions did not become extremely pale. One reason is diet. Traditional foods such as fish and marine animals contain large amounts of vitamin D. If people get enough vitamin D from food, there is less pressure for skin color to change. This shows that evolution is influenced by many factors, not just one. And this is where the idea of clear biological races starts to break down. Human skin color changes gradually across geography. There is no sharp line where one type of human suddenly becomes another. Instead, there is a continuous pattern shaped by sunlight, migration, food, and thousands of years of adaptation. If you could travel across the ancient world, you would not find clear boundaries. You would see gradual changes from one region to the next. Human differences are real, but the strict categories people created are much less real than many imagine. Evolution was never trying to create different groups of humans. It was solving a simple problem. How do you block enough sunlight to protect the body while still allowing enough sunlight to produce vitamin D? That balance created the wide range of skin colors we see today. The earliest Homo sapiens were almost certainly dark-skinned because they lived in Africa under strong UV radiation. Their skin was perfectly suited to their environment. Think of melanin as a volume control for sunlight. In places with intense sunlight, the body turns the protection up. In places with weaker sunlight, it turns the protection down. No skin color is better than another. Each one represents an adaptation to different environments. Every shade tells a story of survival. Today, humans can travel anywhere in the world within hours. A person whose ancestors lived under northern skies may live near the equator. A person whose ancestors adapted to tropical sunlight may live in a cloudy northern city, but their skin still carries part of the story of where their ancestors came from. Your skin is more than a color. It is a record of ancient journeys, changing environments, and generations of people who adapted to the world around them. Skin color is not a ranking system. It is not a border. It is not proof that humans are divided. It is proof that humans are remarkably adaptable. Every shade of skin is a survival story written by sunlight, time, and human history. And every person alive today carries a small piece of that story.